here you got color. Oops. So you click on that, and you can actually adjust specific colors in here, right? You can choose which color you want, and you can change the hue, saturation, and luminance of it. So, oops. So if you go here, right, it's kind of moving between purples and kind of a brownish yellow. Let's see. Okay, it's at 0. Saturation is kind of with the gray and the red. Essentially, they show you the colors on either side as to which way you're going. This one's at +4. Again, I can click right in there and type in 0 if I can't hit 0 very easily on the slider. Luminance, basically how dark or bright you want it to be. Let's see. Maybe, okay. We'll actually make that positive. So we'll put positive 26. Point color selector, this is interesting. You can actually choose a specific color in the picture, and it shows, it zooms right in for you. And so with this eyedropper, you can click on a specific color with that, put it in that inside that square that shows up, and anything that color. Now these changes that you make will change only the things that are the same as that color you were looking at. So that can have an interesting effect. Okay, that's 0. So I haven't really changed anything there. But you can do that. You can choose a specific color within the picture and change that. Color grading, you can, again, cause some different effects with this, right? Get on the wheel and just kind of move it around. Again, you've got luminance, blending, balance. These are things you can shift. Okay. Let's see. I can set these back to 0. Yeah. Okay. Because I don't really want to do that. So there's shadows, midtones, highlights, right? So you can focus on different parts within the picture. This one's global, so it should affect everything. Now, that's that. Now there's effects. So texture, right? If you go one way or the other, one way it kind of smooths things out, right? So it's kind of like the details within the picture. And you go the other way and it makes it really harsh. So here, if I go to the left all the way, the chicks are looking a lot fuzzier. If I go further to the right, their feathers look a lot more pointy, more sharp. So I'm going to shift this probably a little bit more to the left. We'll give them a little more fuzzy picture. Clarity, again, you go to the left, you can get a little more fuzzy again. You go to the right, and it gets, again, sharper. It's a sharper clarity, if you want to call it that. So we'll go for a little bit more fuzzy again. Dehaze will straighten out things that look kind of fuzzy, foggy in the picture. And of course, anytime you go to an extreme, this is actually making it more foggy. But if you go the other way, it's getting less. And honestly, I think I don't really like that effect on this picture. I think 0 might be good. So I'm just going to click in there and hit 0. Vignette, not vignette, but vignette. It's an interesting effect. It creates a border along the picture. And if you go one way, you get a dark border, right? And it kind of creates sort of an oval, sort of a rounded border around the outside. If you go the other way, it creates a whitish border around it. So it can be an interesting effect you might want to try out. Whoops. And now oh, there it is. Clicked in the wrong place. So I'm going to hit that, put that to 0. Okay, grain. Again, this is something, if you remember with ISO, that's something you can control within your camera. So you can increase the grain, make it look a little, well, as we used to say, pixelated. But this doesn't really seem to be affecting this picture too much. So that's all right. Detail, sharpening, right? So again, you can try and adjust this. And this, if you look, it makes the feathers stand out a bit more. And here, it should soften them up a bit. And that's where it was at before. Okay, noise reduction would help get rid of things that well, probably grainy stuff, things that look kind of grainy. You could adjust that. But this one is showing that there is no noise reduction available with this photo format. Okay, optics, there's remove chromatic aberration. Not sure that's going to do anything for us. No. Enable lens corrections. Yeah. Oh, right. Well, this can let you change things with, no, that's not going to let us do it with this one. So we'll just ignore that for now. Some of these settings they won't let you use with certain pictures. Some you can. Defringe, I've never really played with. But that's another thing with this program, right? You can just pick stuff and play around with it. Move it along, see what it does. Purple hue, you can change that. And sometimes, again, depending on the picture and the colors you've got in it, things don't really change. Here's lens blur, but this is early access, so this is something that they're testing out right now. Oh boy. Estimating depth. We'll see what this does and how long it takes. Maybe this was the wrong thing to do. But it should create like a blurry effect. I don't know how well that's going to work again with this picture. Well, the standard setting seemed to be 50, so maybe we can try and just leave it there. Oh, and it's saying my drive is full. Just hold on. Okay, we're looking at the blur. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot for this picture. All that waiting and it did nothing. Okay, so we'll put that back to 0 or 50, I should say. And we'll click that off so we're not applying it anymore. Okay, so that's one of the things. Now if I click in the top left-hand corner here, whoops, it's got presets. And again, presets are similar to the idea of filters. So here I've got some different ones that are called fade effect, sepia or sepia. People pronounce it either way. Sepia tone. So if I click on these, it will automatically adjust the picture to make it look that way. And I don't know if you can see on here if it actually shows that. No, it doesn't. It doesn't show you the settings for the effects. But there will be videos where it shows you how to do a fade or a sepia or sepia. The other thing is these basics. These are essentially filters that are pre-planned. So you can click on them and choose what you want to do with it, right? Or if not, whoops, I think I have to do undo. Uh-oh. It may just have chosen all of these. Oh, lens blur. Okay, let's reset that. Okay, good enough. But yes, so these are basically preset filters. There's a bunch of different black and white settings. There's portrait settings. So the idea is that these are things you typically would use with pictures of people. Let's close some of this stuff up here so we don't have all these things open. Default settings, right? Curve. So again, if you hover over them, it'll show you what it would look like. Grain settings, right? So there's different things you can try out here. Oh, optics. Yeah. And a lot of these effects, well, I think really all of these effects are things you can create on your own just using the sliders that are available to you. But these are here just in case you want to use them, okay? Instead of having to try and find the setting on your own. You are also able to create these user presets, and you'll see that again in a later video. But in order to create your own preset, you just click the plus, create the preset, and basically it creates a filter that looks like whatever you've done to the picture you're currently looking at. So it creates a filter using the settings that your current picture would have. So in that filter, these are the settings that it would have. Exposure would be plus 0.57, contrast minus 45, highlight 67, and so on. So if you created a preset, this will be it. Well, and in fact, I can do that right now. I'll click Create Preset. I can call it Chicks, right? And I hit Save, and now that's a preset. So I can go to another picture and select Chicks, and it will, well, in fact, I can do that right now. And I click on Chicks, and it's going to, that's a horrible example. I'll undo that. Let's try this one and do Chicks, right? So now it's applied to Chicks, right? So now it's applied the settings that the Chicks picture was at.